We're out in the garden today and we're going to talk about soil. We have been working on amending this garden since the late summer. This garden was used in the spring of last year so that we could grow cruciferous vegetables. We had cabbage and broccoli, cauliflower, and some Brussels sprouts growing. They did very well here, and I'm looking forward to give it a go again in the spring of 24. So I just had some soil testing done recently and got very good results. So I just wanted to share that with you, let you know what we've been doing, and kind of give you a look at what's happening here. So currently we have mounds and mounds of organic matter just here and there all over this garden. For example, it has been a dumping ground for grass clippings. So we've got a lot of mounds of grass clippings. It has also been a dumping ground for wood shavings. So we've got a few mounds of wood shavings. I did use mulch in the garden last year, so there is some residual mulch as well. On top of that, we came through the other day and we spread wood ash. So another nutrient that will help to sustain the garden this year. So I just wanted to share this with you because all of these amendments that are quite natural and easy to do are paying off. So about 4 weeks ago, I sent in some soil samples to the local extension agent, and they had them sent out for analysis, and it came back with excellent results. So this garden is very high in potassium. It's also very high in phosphorus. So that was exciting to hear because that means I won't have to buy any fertilizer this year. So immediately there's a cost cutter just in using materials from your property and having a self-sufficient home setting. So when I am looking at what to plant this spring, I'm going to be thinking about that high potassium, high phosphorus. Those two nutrients are exceptionally good for root vegetables. So I'm already thinking of cabbage because it did so well last year and I want to do that again. I was able to provide some for others as well as doing quite a bit of storage of the cabbage. I prefer to do storage type vegetables. So I do have a lot of things for fresh eating, but if I can put in a good heavy crop of something for storage, that is awesome to me. So in addition to the cabbage, I think I'm going to give it a go and do some carrots in garden number 2 this year. I've only ever done them in the raised beds and they've been quite successful. But given the nutrient count for this garden, I think it's time that we go ahead and try carrots. So we'll be starting carrots and cabbage probably in mid-March from seed. I've always had good luck with spring vegetables just from seed. It's very damp here in the spring. It kind of is a self-watering effect. And the weeds are not growing real fast and real well, so you can really stay on top of it. But I'm really looking forward to this spring because we're going to be doing some cabbage and carrots in garden number 2. Probably we'll even do some onions. I like to perimeter plant the garden with onions. That way the deer stay out of it. So that works really well. Even if I don't get that many onions off of it, it keeps the deer out of the garden. We have a very good sized herd of deer that come through every day, but with the right deer deterrents, such as planting onions around the perimeters, there is really no trouble because they just don't like that. So what I'm going to do today is try to break up some of these mounds because you want it to be able to really break down over the winter. And I'm afraid if it's all mounded the way that it is, it's going to have a harder time breaking down and decomposing. In the spring, when we decide to rototill, my goal is to have more of this, some very rich, dark earth that I can plant my seeds into. So this is just residual from the mulch that I had put in here last spring, so it has broken down very nicely. I've not added any kind of bagged soil or purchased product of soil. This ground is actually very heavy with clay, so it really requires amending. So you do have to stay on top of it, and you do have to be thinking about how can I improve the quality of my soil. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Again, I'm just going to go through and kind of break up all the large spots where we have been dumping. That way it has a better chance of breaking down all winter long, and then it'll be more incorporated and mixed in the spring when we do the rototilling. So, all right guys, stay with me. Let's see how it goes. Guys, this is what I'm talking about. You can see here, it's pretty mounded up, and that's not going to do a very good job decomposing. So I've kind of gone through just that corner there, spreading it around, and that'll be the goal today, to get it thinned out so that it can easily decompose. Some of you may be wondering why I'm not just rototilling this all in at this point. And I just want to say that if you look closely, there's a lot of dead grass that I'm kind of looking at as a cover crop. I'm afraid if I rototill it in, then when the winds come, I will lose a lot of soil as far as getting blown away. So don't want to lose that topsoil. I'm just going to kind of blend in these organic materials, and I won't have to add anything for the rest of the winter. It'll be ready to rototill in the spring. Guys, I don't know if you can see that, but that is leftover fabric from last year's garden, and that's definitely something you don't want. That'll get caught up in the rototiller. Guys, I'm gonna take a break. I mean, that is not easy work. So the thing that made it kind of difficult, hey sissy, get out there, girly. The thing that made it kind of difficult was this big mound of fabric. So apparently, when I left on vacation last year, I did not really get back to the garden much. And you can see this is all grown in. So it was literally locked down into the ground. And that's terrible because you can't rototill this. It doesn't break. That would be a nightmare all the way around the rototiller. So the entire center of the garden still had its fabric down, and somehow I didn't realize that, but now it's out. So thank goodness. But that was a lot of work because each and every one had to be really worked at because all of this stuff was rooted down deep. So big, deep roots. Don't ever leave your fabric in the garden. So the roots will find the holes, or I'm sorry, the weeds will find the holes, and they will root and they will grow and they will lock your fabric down like there's no tomorrow. So make sure at the end of your season you are pulling up your garden fabric. Otherwise you're going to have a mess to deal with. So I got about halfway through. I'm going to give it up for today. The good news is I still have a long time before the spring, and I'll have many, many, many good weather days. So I will plan to get back out here and work it up again. So all in all, I'm pretty happy with what I did today. This was a huge accomplishment. Much of the big piles have been dispersed, so I'm looking for those to break down so that they can decompose and rot and they can become good, healthy garden soil for the spring. So that's it for today, guys. Hey, don't forget, if you like what you see, make sure you like the video, subscribe, and share the video. So, like I said before, planning to keep it coming. And I certainly do have a plan in mind. I hope you do too, and I'd love to hear about it. Please leave a comment down below. Take care, everyone.